In today's world, who would have known that doing a product review would lead to something else, such as illegal action? Chioma Okoli on one beautiful day posted her review and feedback on a Facebook page about Najiko tomato paste by Erisco Foods. Whereas she didn't realize that this video would have gathered so much views and attention, leading to the CEO threatening to slam Okoli with a 5 billion naira lawsuit over her negative review of the company's product. Nigerians have threatened to boycott Erisco Foods over the company's continued persecution of a reviewer, Chioma Okoli, after the Inspector General of Police filed a cybercrime charge against Chioma.
Meanwhile, the CEO, Eric Umeofia, in March 2015 and repeated in July 2016, had claimed that a list of Nigerians have been killed by an alleged tomato paste cabal or tomato paste importers, which he had failed to mention up until date. Well, a case human rights lawyer and counsel to Chioma Okoli, Inebeye Effiong, has asked for. Well, this morning, joining us to get an update on the matter is also a human rights lawyer and, of course, one who has been following this case judiciously. We do have Festus Oguns live in the studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Great. This is a story that it doesn't need so much interpretation or explanation because everyone simply has been following closely. What have you made out of this particular story? Looking at the reactions that has come from, let's not even talk about Nigerians. Let's talk about the CEO himself and, of course, taking Chioma to court and, of course, ensuring that he wants to sue her for that huge amount.
If you ask me, I would say it's just a reckless display of naked power. You know, we live in a society where very powerful people, very rich people believe that they can trample upon the rights, the dignity of poor, ordinary people with reckless abandon because there are no consequences for impunity. I've always said it that when you live in a society where the rule of law is not prioritized, there is going to be abuses like this. When a customer makes a review of your product, the next thing for you to do is not to, get the customer arrested, get her intimidated and prosecuted. It's not to arbitrarily begin to intimidate the customer. What you should do is to take the review in good faith. And even when you are agitated, when you are concerned about the review, you go ahead to file a libel suit. If you feel your business has been defamed, a business organization can sue for libel. Why has he not told that line? But because he believes that because he's wealthy, he can use his money to buy the police. And the police would not even accord their responsibility to reasoning. They accord it to who the money bag is, which is, destroying whatever is left of the fabric of our country. The point I'm making is that what Chioma Okoli has done is not a violation of law. She has not violated any law. And the arrest, the detention, and the subsequent intimidations, and what we now have a sort of prosecution in court, should not have arisen in the first place if we have a country that prioritizes the rule of law. What is the business of the police with a review, an innocent review made by a customer? And at the end of the day, even if the company decides to even sue her for libel, truth is a defense. Truth is a defense to libel. The customer has stated that, look, this tomato paste is very sugary and things in that direction. The way out to get whether she is defaming the company or otherwise is to really test if that tomato paste is sugary. And this is just coming from a customer. Should that even necessitate the whole theatrics that we see on a daily basis to the point that the CEO is on national TV, insisting that he is going to ensure that the lady is thoroughly dealt with? I do not think it is necessary. If we have, I'm saying again, if we have a police force that is indeed committed to its duty of ensuring the protection of lives and properties, prioritizing the rule of law, we wouldn't even have this kind of arrest and intimidation in the first place. Take a look at it. She was arrested in Lagos. The purported defamation was in Lagos. As if that was not enough, she was bundled from Lagos, taken to Abuja. Now they want to commence the prosecution in Abuja. Why should they go to Abuja? Are there no federal high courts in Lagos? That shows you that, look, when the rich want to intimidate the poor, I'm a lawyer, I understand the territories. When the rich want to intimidate the poor, they do things that will make the poor very frustrated. When you take a matter to Abuja, let's even take away the fact that they would fly through air to Abuja. Let's assume the lady will be going by road to Abuja. For someone that is just an average Nigerian, especially at this time, if she goes to Abuja for cases, and this case, the way Nigerian system works, can take up to 3 years. The prosecution can take 2-3 years.
Absolutely. And even what's worse is, I mean, if you watched the documentary where she narrated her ordeal, she mentioned that that was the very first time she was visiting Abuja. So imagine the first time visiting Abuja was because of this case. She doesn't have family, she doesn't have friends in Abuja, according to what she said. Because she obviously doesn't live there, and she was taken there for this case. So I mean, and I'm really glad that you mentioned what exactly the issue was, because she did say that the tomato paste was too sugary, yes. And she had gone to buy 2 other brands. She didn't find them, and then she bought Najiko and tried to use it. It was too sugary, so she threw it away. And she shared her thoughts on Facebook. Just to mention that what they're holding on to as evidence is, and this, I'm just reiterating this if anyone hasn't followed the case yet, is the fact that somebody, purportedly, maybe his sister, had gone to comment asking her to stop destroying the business if she doesn't want to purchase or something in that line. And then she replied, or she allegedly replied that this tomato paste is killing people, something in that line. So I believe that's what, I wish we had a picture of that. That's what they're holding on to as evidence. I want you to walk us through what should have been the actual line of action. Yes, this could maybe be libel if they had a strong case. If they feel that their character as a company has been defamed and this was published, it would amount to libel. And you said that the defense to libel is truth, which Absolutely. Is, of course, Absolutely. The defense to defamation as well.
Yes.
How then do we establish truth? If one of the things we're hearing is that the amount of sugar was not even specified on the tin, that, when you look at the nutritional components, a number of people have complained about the fact that they don't understand how much sugar is there. So how do we establish truth? And what should have been the proper mode of handling this? Should the police have gone to her house, stayed outside her house from morning till evening, asking to arrest her, threatening to break her door at some point? Absolutely. Is that an actual mode of arrest as enshrined in our laws?
Yeah, I do not see any form of decency in the mode of arrest. When you want to arrest a citizen, you have to respect the provision of Section 34 of the Constitution that guarantees the right to dignity of human person. I am aware that Chioma Okoli was laid under siege in her residence for hours, even after the first initial arrest. So you see that when you arrest a person for the first time, again, after her release, subsequent to public outcry, you went ahead to her residence again to arrest her, still on the same subject matter. It's becoming a sort of harassment. Thankfully, the lawfulness of the arrest is already a subject of litigation before another federal high court in Lagos. So, you see, the point I'm making, which I think is very important, is that when you have a customer-company relationship, there is a better way to handle it. Because in Nigeria, we believe everything has to be policed. You have to involve police in everything. I owe the presenter some amount of money. The next thing is, instead of asking for the money, the next thing you go to the police to report. Landlord, tenant. Landlord will go to the police to report. Tenant will go to the police to report. Simple marital disputes. Marital disputes. They go to the police to report, and police will intervene. See, when police continues to lend itself to be used by powerful people for to settle personal scores, then we'll have a big problem in the country. I believe, without any fear of contradiction, that the whole theatrics, the whole drama by the Erisco company, including its CEO, in respect of this matter, is unwarranted and unnecessary. Let me say again that, like you mentioned, the CEO had alleged in years back that those importing tomato paste in the country are killing Nigerians. Till today, he is unable to produce those that have been killed by this product that have been imported. Should the importers of tomato paste come together to also ensure his arrest, detention, and detention? Because what is good for the goose is also good for the gander, you know. So if he has said it in time past as a sort of commentary, not once, I think twice.
Absolutely.
That, look, those people importing tomato paste in the country are killing Nigerians, yet he doesn't have any evidence to back up his claim that indeed Nigerians are being killed by imported tomato paste. Why has he not been arrested? Why are the foreign importers not ensuring that he's arrested, prosecuted, and intimidated?
And just to piggyback of what you've said, he also didn't mention that, I mean, he's alleged for years that there have been a cabal that's trying to bring down his business because he's spoken against importers. So he alleges that Chioma is part of that cabal. Does he have any evidence to substantiate that claim?
The allegation is reckless. It doesn't have any basis. It doesn't have any basis. There is no facts to support the allegation. It's just a reckless allegation. Some would say it's maybe corporate insecurity. It's just insecure. So why is he just insistent on this pregnant woman?
I'd like us to look at the fact that this is a pregnant woman.
Yes.
Coincidentally, we're also in Women's Month. And we just heard as well that the president is coming up with a lot of, how do I put it, a lot of, I'll call it rules, laws, or processes to ensure that women are indeed treated appropriately in the country. But I want to ask this. Now that this has gone to the court of law, Chioma is being moved to Abuja and so on, where do you see this case likely going? I'm not trying to tell you to predict what's going to happen.
I'm not predicting.
Of course. But where do you see this leading to? Are we going to see a pregnant woman that's going to be incarcerated because of doing a video on social media talking about products? And where do you think the consumer protection, the laws that govern consumer protection, comes in? Because ordinarily in other climes or similar climes, you see them coming immediately. They will possibly call for a test of the product. They will call for all whatnot to ensure that what this consumer is or customer is saying, let's see if it's true. And then let's also have, rather than leave the CEO to become the consumer protection, to become the law, and also to become the judge.
The spokesperson of the company,
yeah.
The CEO was on TV granting interview. It's the CEO that is everywhere making public statements. It's not a problem. Look, what we are saying is that, yes, a company might be agitated, but a customer has a right to review your product, whether you like it or not. That's how it's done everywhere in the world. If I use your product, I have a right to comment on the propriety of that product, how I feel about that product. He had expected positive reviews all around for his product, which is a tall dream, if you ask me. You would expect ordinarily that some people will give honest review about your product. Has he taken any step to even investigate whether that allegation is true? Or has he taken any step to even improve his product?
Well, I think in response to that, part of his defense would be that they had asked Chioma to provide the tin, the batch number, so they can investigate. And as expected, she had thrown it away, because I've also used bad products. And when I do, I don't keep them around to say, I'm going to take this back to the company. Because in Nigeria, it's a bit of a Herculean task, trying to get companies to accept responsibility, right? So typically, you just maybe complain and throw it away.
Yes.
So because they cannot trace it, and according to him, because they could not get across to Chioma, is why he involved the Inspector General of Police. Let's talk about the police again very quickly. How do we analyze the role of the police in ensuring the protection of citizens' rights as opposed to infringing on citizens' rights? Because in this case, some will argue that the police was, has been part of an instrument or a system that set the law in motion against Chioma. So how would we analyze the importance of the role that the police plays?
Ordinarily, police should be a neutral body whose primary duty is the protection of lives and property under the Police Act. However, the Nigerian police force of today is not neutral. The police force takes side with the rich, with the powerful people, and the influential people. Nothing more, nothing less. Even for me as a lawyer, I find it very frustrating to even go to a police station or do police
So
matter.
police is not your friend?
People that maim our people, kill our people, brutalize people at the slightest provocation, slaughter our people, kill our people on a daily basis. I wouldn't know, but those that kill people every day, they detain people, you talk about law, they just look at you as if you are joking.
There's a lot to
There's this level of disdain. There's this level of disdain to dignity of human person by the police. The police do not give a damn about human rights. The Nigeria police force do not give a damn about human rights. They don't care about the dignity of human person. And that is why I can walk up to the police station to say, look, I want this person arrested. So I will tell the police, I want this person arrested. The next thing they will ask me is not even the propriety of my complaint. It is whether I can do the proper mobilization. This is how it works in the Nigerian police force. So, but if our Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Agency, the FCCPC, the Commission, is indeed efficient, the action of Erisco company is completely unconscionable. They shouldn't have allowed it to happen if we have an FCCPC that is truly efficient. But it's just, I would say it's a growing commission. It's a growing commission, if you ask me.
All right.
Please,
There's a lot of conversation. I mean, because of time, it's something we'd like to really continue. But you know what? I think we're going to have you back. Let's see how this case plays out.
Very well.
And hopefully, because a lot of Nigerians are watching, so it will determine where to go from here. And besides, the judiciary has also been put in the balance now to see what they would do, to see if people really have rights to speak or review products. Thank you so much.
And I'm hoping that when he comes back again, you can talk to us about the potential remedies that are available to Chioma.
Yes, she's already exploring one. She's in court for violation of our human rights. I'm aware of that.
All right, okay.
Yeah, because the court, as we say, is the last hope of the common man.
That's
Some
it.
say it's the lost hope, but I do not believe yet.
We're holding on.
Thank you so much, Festus Oguns, of course, human rights lawyer who's here with us this morning. But before we proceed, let's also tell you that you can be part of the show and you can make your comments by going to our social media page. We're streaming live on YouTube as well as on Facebook, and we can see your comments there already, so feel free to amplify that.